demonic angel here with the Five of Swords. Okay, the Five of Swords, obviously, first off we notice the clouds in the sky. Stormy weather, hardships, all is not well. Even though the battle is over, because the man in the foreground has defeated his two opponents, the skies have not cleared. So this is just indicative of that chaos. All of the number fives of the minor arcana are, having to do with chaos. Now, number 5 of the major arcana is the Hierophant, and he is the opposite of chaos. He's diplomacy and order. But this is, of course, like I say, these fives are chaos. So, we got the mountains in the background, and it just, as with many of the other cards, it symbolizes the trials up ahead and the many more travels and trials, tribulations that lay in the future. Okay, so these two people are walking away after they got defeated, which this is the name of the card is defeat, basically, because they're done fighting. They've either lost or decided to walk away from this fight because there wasn't anything to gain anymore. It wasn't going well. Now the two swords on the ground, the Two of Swords is that diplomatic sort of option that the gentleman in the foreground, he ignored. He didn't try to talk it out with these people or to find a different solution. He just intentionally hurt these people, and he brought on the pain to everybody in this card. Everybody in this card loses, okay? Because even though, and he's also holding the Three of Swords, and the Three of Swords is, of course, sorrow. From the previous card. And he, even though he has this smile and smirk on his face, he loses too. This card is really just when you have an argument with somebody and you call them a mean name or you say something and it's really mean and deep, okay? You kind of can feel this moment like, oh, I've won. Look at how much better I am. Sorry about the card. But in reality, that's just that moment of you feeling like you're better, but you're really not. You've hurt yourself and the other person or other people by cutting deep and being nasty. Okay, so that's just like a really classic example of what this card can be. In a more physical, real sense, it can be like violent crime like rape and robbery, because the rapist and the person who is the victim, they all lose. They all lose because it takes violence and meanness and all these negative emotions. They take their toll on everybody involved. The person might get caught, go to jail, or even if they don't, it still takes a part of them. And it brings that darkness and, whereas they could have not done this. They could have gone a more diplomatic way or talked it out, but they didn't. So it doesn't usually represent that kind of physical violence, but it could. So Like I said, usually when I pull this card and stuff, it's like if you're a couple, you're fighting and you're just saying the meanest, nastiest things that you can, and you feel like you've won because you really know how to get inside your partner's head. But did you really win? No, of course not, because anything mean and negative is going to bring everybody's vibration down. And everybody becomes ungrounded. Everybody loses. Everybody is defeated. And that is this card. So reversed. Quickly, yeah, I would say reversed here is the people in the background, they're walking away. So instead of, if you, let's say in a relationship, whether work or personal, you fight so much and it always ends the same way, and then you decide to walk away. But I mean, of course, it's still a sad feeling. You hang your head as you slowly walk away because, of course, relationships are formed and they're hard to leave. But you've decided you're done fighting, and so now you're gonna go and move on, and you're heading towards the mountains, towards a different future, and you're ready to do that on your own. Reversed also can be that all participants are tired of fighting and tired of being mean, so they decide finally to sit down, really bringing out that all the deep emotional feelings, saying, hey, listen, I really do have a bad temper. I am sorry, and when I was a child, such and such kind of made me this way. But I'm going to work on it because I really want to improve my relationship with you. So it's bringing about those deep feelings. So that's really reversed. You're either going to walk away because there is no other, there's no other way, even though you try, the fights get worse and worse and there is no resolution. Or everybody involved is willing to bring out all those feelings that literally cut deep and that are true and human and deep, and say, this is why I am like this. This is what I am going through, and I want you to understand my point of view. And not saying that that's going to resolve all of that, but when people are genuine, of course, that's the positive aspect in this, really, because the best thing that anybody can do is be genuine. I think that was a pretty good little bit here on Five of Swords. So up next, sorry I was bouncing around so much. I figure you guys just want to see the card maybe this way. But up next, I'm going to talk about the part 2 of My Paranormal Childhood, and I'm going to talk about the haunted house that I moved into. I think I'll just do 3 parts to that, so stay tuned for part 2.